Today we're going through the best and worst tattoo TikToks I could find. Let's jump into it. I got this. Nothing to learn, just crappy looking clown. This is the moment you look down at your tattoos, you go, oh, thank God I'm not wearing that pile of crap, and things could be worse, right? This is all the worst things in the world happening on this person's leg or arm or wherever on their body. I don't know if it's an orange or a red, but whatever it is, it doesn't look good at all. They didn't outline the hair, the flame hair thing, bro. Just a bad design, a goofy design. And I like, where do you find this? Because obviously this tattooer is a crappy tattooer. The design is technically could be something. Where did they find it? Like, this looks like one of those old vending machine type of tattoo designs that were like meant to be holographic and look just awful, just crap. Just a crap tattoo to start off the day. Let's keep it rolling. I did this tattoo for $75 last night in Atlanta. Not the worst thing I've ever seen. It's kind of hard to see it. Obviously it's on a darker person, and obviously they're filming this at night. Better pictures would have been better. You know, getting this thing with a little bit more light and saturated would probably make this thing easier. 75 bucks, dude, this is what I'd expect for 75 bucks. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't think that this tattoo is a great tattoo by any means in any world, ever, anywhere, anything ever, right? But for 75 bucks, that dude came up, to be honest. 75 bucks is not the worst pile of crap I've seen. I am not a fan of lighthouses. And you know, over the last, 7 years, they've slowly faded into oblivion. Thank God for that. Lighthouses make up some of the worst tattoos I've ever seen because they're just so dumb looking. Like, I think they're one of those tattoos that are similar to a compass or something like this. They feel symbolic to us in our brains. We're like, oh, there's this thing and it lights the way. And so like we put a lot of like that type of stuff on it. Like, it leads the way in the dark of the night, you know, type of stuff. And I just go, oh my God, that tattoo does not look good, okay? Like, just think about a lighthouse. There's never been a time in anyone's life where they looked at a tattooed lighthouse and they were like, I need that. Obviously, I'm completely wrong because people continue to get them to this day, but it's starting to fade away and no one cares about them anymore. Thank God. Okay, lighthouses should be banned. This for 75 bucks is by far not the worst. Every time I go looking for videos, I get sent like these videos that are all piles of crap, and I have to like be like, well, what can I learn from it? Not much. Usually I just go, that's just so bad, I have to tell people that's bad. This case, it's like a bad tattoo, but for 75 bucks, like, dude came up. That was a lot of work. 75 bucks, dude. There's easier ways in this world to make 75 bucks than doing this crap. One thing, there's this like light source coming off of this tattoo that looks like it's coming from the left-hand side where those railings are leaving shadows in the center of the tattoo. And I go, this is a stormy looking scene. Like, where are they getting that light source from? Because I don't see it. I don't know where you would put it. It just looks dumb to me to be like putting that light source in there. Technical type of tattooing, I'm not the best when it comes to light source or like really artsy fartsy type of stuff. That's not really my jam. But when I do black and gray, and especially when I attempt to do realistic stuff, I'm pretty cautious of it. I'm like, just get rid of all of it, you know? Just do a dumb flat 2D object. On to the next. Oh, you have a matching tattoo? Just one small matching one? That's cute. Try a full leg. Wow. That is a matching leg sleeve with a person. Just based off of what I'm looking at here, it looks like matching on a guy and a girl. I hope to Christ that is his sister or her brother, because if they have matching full leg sleeves and they are in a relationship, that is weird to me in so many ways. Like, if I was gonna go like hang out with my girlfriend and I saw her leg and her leg looked exactly like my leg, I'd be like, ew. But also boring as all hell. I don't know why it's more okay to me if they're brother and sister. Maybe they're twins even. I've seen people do stuff like that where they get the same exact tattoos as their twin or whatever. But if it's my girlfriend, like, I'd be so bored looking at her leg. I'd be like, that is my leg. Why do I want to look at my leg on your leg. Like, huh? No, dude, if I was dating a girl with tattoos, I'd be kind of stoked. My girlfriend has no tattoos. It doesn't really affect our relationship at all. I'd love that she doesn't have tattoos. It's kind of cool to me. But if she did have tattoos, I'd be stoked because I get to look at another set of tattoos. Like, you'd be like, oh, that one's so cool. Oh, like, that's interesting. I'll be like looking at her tattoos all the time. You know, especially if she had rad ones, I'd be like, oh, that's interesting, that's cool, blah, 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 blah. But if you had the same exact leg as me, I'd be like, nothing to look at. I have that same crappy looking tattoo there. And honestly, okay, I did just see the till death do us part, so it's safe to assume that they are in a relationship. Ugh, dumb, so dumb. Sometimes partners in tattoos do incredibly embarrassing things. And if my old lady was like, hey, I want to have a matching leg with you, I'd be like, we are different people. You do realize that. Like, we actually technically are different people, and I do not want to match tattoos with you. You know, like this stipple shading stuff thing sometimes looks good. In this scenario, it just looks really weak on a lot of these tattoos too. So I'm just gonna throw that part out there. Thank God this isn't my leg. On to the next. Oh my God, that took forever for me to realize what I was actually looking at. There's two red eyes, and honestly, one of the eyes is placed where a nose should be, and then there's a nose, and I was like, what am I actually looking at? I'm so confused. For a moment, I don't know if you could play back that video. Do I look confused as hell? I feel confused as hell. I was like, what am I actually looking at? Where's this tattoo? And where is that nose? Oh my God. Lions, tigers, don't care. People always comment that I say the opposite of what is on the camera. I don't know why, or what is on the screen. I don't know why I do that. I actually am not sure if I do switch it up all the time. That is a lion. For sure, a lion. That I know. King of the jungle, lion. Why? Do lions live in the jungle? Am I just wrong when it comes to animals? No, this is a lion. So crappy. This lion got hit in the face with a shovel right before the tattoo. Bros, why do they not learn? And why does it feel like people are getting lions on such a high rate? Like, what's the percentage of tattooed people to lion having people? It is high. It is high and it is awful. And if you're out there like, I want to get a tattoo, never let it be a lion. And if you have a lion, put a spider web over it or anything else over it. Just like call it quits. You made bad decisions. Life is hard. Move on. Chop off the tattoo and keep it rolling. You know, like lions suck as tattoos. Tigers, okay. Some lions are okay. I can think of like 3. Other than that, crap. Next, this cover up took 4 days. Oh my God, the tiniest cover up on a tattoo that I like. It's so dark you cannot see it. I have to lighten this up in post so I could actually comment on it. Like, dude, okay, I like the tattoo. I'm not gonna take that away. But dude, your filters are not a personality. When it comes to tattoos, you see people do these like filtery things to try and be like, to market a type of style or personality. And I'm like, oh my God, just let me see the damn tattoo. I'd be so much more interested in this tattoo if I could actually see it. It's a great cover up. I'm like searching through filters to try and adjust this tattoo so I could really complement it well. But honestly, that bums me out. I don't know if is my lighting super off? No. You knew what good lighting was when you put the stencil on, because obviously that looks normal. And then all of a sudden you did all this other crap to make your vibe dark. I'm so old. I'm so old. Every time I go on these TikToks, I just go like, oh my gosh. Okay, I think I got one. Okay, there you go. In case you were wondering what this whole thing was, this is the best version of a filter I could find for this video. Maybe we'll lighten it even more in post. Oh my gosh. Very nice tattoo. It looks nice. The cover up was obviously super easy for this type of tattoo. I just like, when I saw it, I was like, I hate tattooers, dude. I hate the whole vibed out feel sometimes on Instagram and stuff. Like, just give it to me raw, dude. Just give it to me raw. Raw dog it, dude. Come on, let me see that tat. On to the next. This is raw. Okay, 2015 to 2025, we're seeing a couple different traditional tattoos done a long time ago, and now here they are to be critiqued by Kirk. Okay, let's look at that rose for the first second. That rose looks pretty okay. There's things about it that kind of look dumb and bad now, like the green leaves. People use dragon green next to this like baby blue in tattoos a lot, and honestly, those two colors, when they age, almost look exactly the same. Like, I know that they're not, we can all see it, But like my eye, just at a quick glance, if this was a tattoo on a person, would have a hard time picking up that green next to that blue, and that's because they're so close. Like they're so close that maybe you should use a different green or put black in that green to really separate those two. Other than that, it's a perfectly fine tattoo. Exactly what you'd expect, nothing special. That's what they were doing in 2015, not that long ago, 10 years ago. Yeah, that seems pretty on par. I think that looks like a tattoo I could have very easily done back in that time frame, you know, or like style-wise could have done a tattoo similar to that. Next, we have this, a hand holding a dagger, and to be honest, I think this is probably the tattoo that aged the best for me. I think the brown looks good. Still, the tattoos maybe too bold. I like bold tattoos. Maybe this is too bold. It looks almost, I don't know, just a little funky to me. But hey, looks good. We got that skull. This one did not heal up that well. I think this is probably the poorest version of these tattoos, of these 4 tattoos. And there's 2 reasons why. One, there's like little dots and things in the butterfly that are almost gone, if not gone. And then there's like teeth in the skull that should have had a lot more space. For how bold of a tattoo they're doing, this tattoo needed a lot more space. But it is funny how like these tattoos are on par for that time period, which isn't that far, 8 years ago. And simplicity is key for the tattoo aging, but sometimes tattooers go too bold. And that's what we're seeing in those teeth, in those teethicles. You know, they're just kind of gonna go away. Give it another 10 years and this tattoo is falling apart for reasons that, you know, it's too bold, it's too big, too much of a line weight. But, you know, hey, good enough tattooing. And then we got this, this thing. This is my least liked tattoo of them all. The ghost kind of falls away to me. I know there is a ghost in there. I kind of don't see it when it healed, okay? Other than that, we're gonna skip on, okay? We saw some bad tattoos. We saw some good tattoos. We saw some stuff. Let's keep it rolling, right? What is next? I'm sure I'm gonna hate it. Can't do that many decent things in a row. Have I not hated enough things yet? No. Oh my God. It says, Little Daddy Long Leg tattoo. Gonna have to go over some lines when it heals up a bit. No, dude, you're gonna have to chop off whatever body part that's attached to. That looks like an arm, like right here. Bro, looks like a broken glass or a dumb, I don't know, anything. So dumb. Tattoos are dumb. This looks like a house tat, so what would you expect from some? You know, if you don't have enough paper towel to properly clean a tattoo, you probably shouldn't do it, right? Like this tattoo is all janked up. You know they didn't have green soap. Like you can tell a house tattoo because they don't have green soap because they don't know that they need it. And so like the tattoo has always got like a lot of black crust on it. You're like, you're an idiot. You don't even know to clean the tattoo. Maybe don't do the tattoo. Obviously these people don't care what I have to say about it, obviously. But in my head I go like, how did you not know you need some sort of like green soap? Like I actually don't tattoo with green soap very often. The end of the tattoo, I usually like spray a little bit or sometimes a lot. I use water throughout the entire tattoo because I just enjoy that more. But I'm always like, hey, you need green soap, dude. Or some sort of green soap replacement. Idiots, tattooing at their house. It looks like a janky bullet hole thing in the arm. I don't know what to say. Give up, go home, do anything else. Go do hair or something. I don't know, what's a tattoo? You know, if you fail as a tattooer, what do you do for a profession? Go back to school? I don't know, I don't care. Stupid job. Tattooing's dumb. On to the next. So it says, color tattoo on Latinos.
Yo, Chris, those cool colors are crazy, bro.
Thank you, bro.
What's going on here?
Well, actually on him, what I'm trying to do, because as you can see, he's not so pale. And you know, there's a lot of people here in South Florida that have the same skin tone. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you push the colors a little bit more, and you push them towards the light rather than the dark side. So a lot of the shadows were a little bit dark on the reference, but I made sure that I made them a little bit lighter. And I also created a little bit more contrast between the midtones and the light tones. So for example, in the original reference, it didn't have all of these yellows. So I added those yellows because the skin, the darker that it gets, it becomes a little bit harder to see the nuances in the different pigments, right? So you want to not only change the value, meaning like how dark, how light they are, but you also want to change a little bit of the hue. So rather than going from like a green to a lighter green, you go from like a green to possibly a lighter yellow, and that creates that type of contrast. So that's something that you want to do specifically in this type of skin tone, which all of us technically have. So if you're in South Florida, you got to make sure that you get a tattoo. If it's color, it's got to have this kind of contrast.
Okay. So as a guy who tattoos a lot of Latinos myself, I have a few thoughts. I don't think anything he's saying is wrong theoretically, or like, I think he knows what he's talking about when it comes to color, and the way he's breaking that down makes a lot of sense to me. My biggest issue with these types of tattoos where like it's a black outline, the color is gonna stay for a long time. For the most part, it's like a well executed type of tattoo. Good for them. He pulled it off, he's gonna pull it off, that's great. To me, when tattooers have this huge array of different colors, I go, half of those colors suck. Like, this is just like one of those things in tattooing, like, there's rules to tattooing, right? Color black will fade. Tattoos fade over time. That part is for sure. Outlines will get bigger over time. That part also pretty much for sure. Another rule that I have in tattooing, at least in my mind, is that most colors in tattooing suck. That's like a very broad statement. And I think that there's like, you know, every tattoo color company has like these, I don't know, 10 colors that I'm like, oh yeah, they crush on that. And then there's like these other experimental colors that are like your peaches, your lime greens, your fluorescent yellows, like these real colors on the side of the spectrum that I'm always like, those colors almost always suck. And if a tattooer pulled out 15, 20 different colors, I'd be like, there's a handful of those that are just weak colors. Like those colors will just fade faster than the other ones because they're soft. They don't have the strength or the balls in this type of tattooing. And so like, if you have to go to these extreme lengths to tattoo color into dark people, I go, maybe just stick with black and gray. And then people are always like, well, you know, if you're dark and you want color, you should be able to get color. And it's like, yeah, I get that. I get that want for people, right? Like I want everybody to have the same opportunity as everybody else. But is it realistic when it comes to tattoo colors? Like absolutely not. And me, relatively dark person, if I was 2 tones darker, I definitely wouldn't get color. And even me, I go, I probably should have gone black and gray. Probably, you know? Like, that's just me. After years of tattooing a lot of color into people, how I see it heal, I go, it's just not as reliable as black and gray, you know? So maybe stick to not colors, because they suck a lot. I wish they didn't. I wish they were better. I wish they really stand out in time forever. But like, colors change, and a lot of times they change for the worse. So, you know, good advice, I guess. You know, is it the best? Probably not. Do I like it? No. On to the next. Okay, this stood out to me because it's gonna be a crap tattoo. But like, and it's even like a crap house tattoo. Very clearly crappy house tattoo. Maybe not. Maybe it's a studio, just a crappy looking studio. But it makes me laugh how anybody in the world can almost make a tattoo video look relatively good. Like, if this was not us on this channel, and if you'd never had tattoos before, and this was some local guy in your area, and you're like, oh, he's actually making a pretty decent film. Like, maybe this guy actually knows how to tattoo. You'd be like, oh yeah. Like, this is definitely something that you're like, it looks pretty, like they zoomed in really well, the camera's really good. Obviously, the tattooing looks horrendous and awful looking, like it just looks like a pile of crap. But if you didn't know any better, you might be like, this person has their stuff together. As a tattooer, maybe I'll go to them. Like they definitely spent more time on making this video look good than they did making the tattoo look good. And I just was like, where do we exist anymore? Like tattooers are half marketers, half non-marketers, and even a crappy tatter like this can like kind of look like they know what they're doing, even though he's tattooing them. I know, this film does not look good, and anybody with any normal amount of tattoo knowledge would be like, this looks horrendous and awful. But if you didn't, if you were just like a kid, fresh out of high school, living in wherever they are, you might be like, oh, I'll get tattooed by him, because he looks like he knows what he's doing. Ugh, dumb. Just a bad looking tattoo too. Like some shaky lines, just shaky. Quit. Everyone has an uncle who started tattooing in their 40s at their house. I can think of 4 dudes I know who are over 40 who started tattooing people and themselves at home with some stuff they got on the internet. It's funny because we always associate that with like a little kid thing of doing, like dumb high school kids, but like adults be dumb too, doing dumb stuff like this. Next. Aussie Ink. I've featured him a bunch of times. This tattoo is so bold, so gnarly. It's a Sailor Jerry snake, but honestly, it took me a minute to even recognize it when I saw the final picture. I was like, oh yeah, that is a Sailor Jerry tattoo, but he did it so well and so interestingly that it looks not like that. Obviously, I'm not dumb. That's a Sailor Jerry tat. Here's a funny story. Pepe's first tattoo he ever did on himself was this same exact design, and I posted it on YouTube and people flamed him for it. They were like, that looks awful. He's such a loser. That's such a bad looking tattoo. After that, I was like, I'm never posting their work until they get much better. Now I'll post them occasionally. He got roasted. He was like, first tattoo. It was so nice. People were critiquing the design, which is funny because it's like very clearly a cool looking traditional design that's very old. A lot of people get it. It's a very cool design. And then they were just roasting him for the tattoo. I thought it was hilarious. It did make me think, ooh, I need to be careful of like, as a mentor who has some sort of following, I was like, I need to be careful with what I post, because like, who wants to do their first tattoo and then just get flamed in the comments? It like said, first tattoo. And it was like, you're trash, Pepe, quit. Fly off a bridge, go end it all. Like, I was like, holy crap, dude. These people are brutal. Luckily, Pepe didn't care that much. At least he didn't say that he cared too much. I'm sure it affected him more than I would understand. But, you know, that tattoo's cool. Aussie Ink. Next. What do I got? So we got this dragon with a color portrait rose. The dragon's in all pink. The dragon looks so cool in all pink. Like, they did a really good job. The color portrait of this is my least favorite thing. Obviously, I hate color portraits. I don't think they look good even with this. Like, this looks nice aesthetically. I know over time it's just gonna look like a red blob because that's what all color portraits tend to look like. But there is something to be said for when a tattooer uses 2 different types of tattoos that like really gets me excited. And I've seen like people do like black and gray portraits with like traditional wrapping around it. And I go, I like that. I think it's super cool to look at. Interesting, different, experimental. I would never wear it because I do not want a portrait of anybody, but like, it does look cool. I can say that. I can say that. And other than that, I'll see you in a few days.